In just 8 UFC fights, Ilia Topuria has torn through top contenders, claimed the featherweight title by dismantling one GOAT, and defended it in even more brutal fashion against another. But that's not it, because all while knocking legends out left, right, and center, he is beefed with some of the biggest stars in the UFC. Who are these stars, and why does Ilia Topuria not like them? Topuria joined the UFC in 2020, and with just 3 wins, he found himself in his first real rivalry against undefeated Russian Movsar Evloev. Topuria was supposed to fight Evloev at UFC 270, and he predicted a first-round finish heading into the battle. Movsar obviously begged to defer by saying, "Keep dreaming, Spaniard. You are not the matador, you are just the red flag that I will use to mop the octagon floor with." Topuria clapped back, pointing out Evloev's high decision rate and insisting there was no way a guy like that would ever mop the floor with him. Evloev unfortunately pulled out before they could settle the score, and Topuria took it as a moral victory.
I was a little bit sad because Movsar pulled out from the fight. Movsar is not undefeated anymore. He lost his undefeated record because he didn't come here. He told me that he will use me like the red rock. Here, I bring this red rock here where he is. No one knows so.
Even after Movsar returned to the cage and beat Dan Ige, Topuria didn't mince words and said Movsar and Ige both suck. I hope to see something special that could motivate me to fight the winner. Topuria even went as far as calling Evloev's fighting style shameful. Topuria's feud with Evloev was just a preview of the storm he was about to unleash on the UFC, and Paddy Pimblett was the first to feel the early tremors. Days before his short-notice lightweight fight against Jay Herbert, Topuria let his hands go on a different rival backstage, and his name was Paddy Pimblett. The bad blood was way more personal and dark than anything Topuria had experienced before, and it all started in 2021 when Pimblett made below-the-belt comments about Georgians with reference to the Russo-Georgian War in 2008, which led to several hundred civilian casualties. Pimblett said, and I quote, "How stupid are these Georgians, man? No wonder the Russians terrorized their lives." Ilia obviously didn't like that at all and warned Pimblett how this tweet was going to haunt him for the rest of his life. He said, "You think that's funny? In that attack by Russia against us, many innocent people lost their lives, including children. The one who supports terrorism and racism is one of them. This tweet will haunt you for life." Paddy fired back, saying he'd jump ahead of Topuria in the rankings after 2 fights because no one wanted to watch the Georgian fight. Pimblett took it even further, telling Topuria, "You're a nobody and will always be a nobody. While I get things done, you'll be stuck on the prelims while I'm on the main card." Pimblett's comments would age like milk, as you'll see later in this video, but anyway, Topuria was so furious with Pimblett's trash talk that he warned him it was on sight.
He said something, "Now I understand why the Russians put the bombs in Georgia, and many kids died in that war, many people died in that war. You know, not a lot of good things happen in the war. So when you start to joke about that kind of things, just make sure that we don't find each other anywhere, because I'm gonna take your fucking head off."
Things only got worse after they exchanged a few heated messages.
It makes my blood boil, so I texted him. I don't remember what I tweet. And when they gave me the fight in London, he texted me like 3 weeks ago, like, "I can't wait to see you in London. We'll see if you have the balls to tell me everything you text me in Twitter." Bullshit.
When the two eventually ran into each other at a hotel in London, all hell broke loose. Interestingly, Ilia claimed that when they ran into each other, Paddy tried to shake his hand, but Topuria wasn't having any of it.
When I come to the hotel, I come out, I finished my interviews, I was walking into the hotel and I saw him. And he looked to me like a nice guy, and he wanted to shake my hand, you know. He come to me, he didn't come, but he looked at me like, nice, you know. I threw the bottle to his face. He threw it back to me. I don't know what. I slipped and I gave him my proper right hand.
On fight night, both men secured dominant wins, with Topuria's being special as he sent Herbert into the world of darkness with one of the nastiest right hands in UFC history. With so much heat between the two blood rivals, it was only natural that they were asked about a potential fight after UFC London.
Do you think Paddy will fight you in the future?
Paddy? Never, ever. I don't think so. Maybe if Dana stay with him like with a gun, maybe yes.
Paddy didn't seem too bothered by Topuria's guesses.
A lion doesn't concern themselves with the opinions of sheep. You can...
Unfortunately, their paths haven't crossed yet since they're in different weight classes, but there is a big possibility of that happening in the future. It wasn't possible back in 2022 because Pimblett was still fighting unranked guys at lightweight while Topuria was taking on the division's best. Their careers heading in completely different directions, so Ilia decided to chase bigger opportunities. Ilia had to go through a couple of top contenders to earn his title shot. The first man was the undefeated and dangerous Bryce Mitchell.
I don't care what he focuses on, brother. I really don't. All I know is I'm showing up to whoop ass. I've had my beat quite a bit in the gym, and you know, my neighbors kicked my ass when I was little. I don't see myself as undefeated, so you know, I see myself as a dude who can take an ass whooping and who ain't afraid of nobody.
Interestingly, Paddy was also on stage during the press conference, and there was no way things wouldn't heat up between him and Ilia.
He just quit when he see me coming.
Who said that? I couldn't hear you.
What did you say? I didn't say that. And what did you say, Jared? That was some space cadet behind you.
I
That was some chorizo, a Spanish sausage.
Oh,
He's so different.
your boy over there.
He see me coming, he go to the back doors.
He's obsessed with me, lad. It's heavy.
Shut the fuck
He
up.
hasn't stopped tweeting about me all week, lad. He needs to sort his life out.
Fucking him out, please, loudly, shut up, man.
The brief interaction almost turned into a full-blown brawl.
You little puss. What? Do it? Do it? Come on, do something then. Do something, stand up. What'll you do? You'll do nothing. You'll do nothing, you little fart. Go and sit back down. Sit back down.
Despite their heated rivalry, Topuria and Pimblett stars never aligned, but Topuria's next opponent was not just better, he was the absolute best. By late 2023, Topuria had cemented himself as the #1 contender, and he had only one champion, Alex Volkanovski, on his mind.
Busy, no busy, I don't know if he's busy. I'm the next guy in the line, I can wait. One of the best skills I have is the patience, that no one can match my level of skill inside the cage. I think everyone is agree with me. I know that I can finish anyone in this division. So, just was tough tonight, but I beat him pretty easy, and it don't going to be like different with Alex, you know.
Going into the fight, Ilia was so full of confidence that he reminded many people of Conor McGregor.
From his girlfriend, to his words, to his team, you know, this reminds me of Conor about to fight Jose Aldo.
The pre-fight trash talking was steamy to say the least, with Volk claiming he was training with Brad Riddle, who could perfectly simulate Topuria.
We've got Brad Riddle over, who's obviously a great training partner just in general, but even stylistically, he's obviously a very good boxer himself. I think he can sort of simulate Ilia. I think he can do to be quite honest, I think he can give me a lot more problems than what Ilia will.
Topuria hated being compared to Riddle and sent Volk a stern warning through Twitter saying, "If you think someone can imitate me, that means that your last fight has left you with lasting effects. I will knock you out in the first round. You're old, it's time to retire, it is time to move on and make way for the new era of Topuria." Volkanovski caught onto that old guy jab and showed up to the press conference dressed as an old man to tease his rival.
Just having a bit of fun with it, you know what I mean? So you got to do it, you know?
The press conference was pure chaos, with Topuria boldly telling everyone, including the champ, to just shut it.
Most of your opponents in the past have, said that they could beat you, but they offered you a lot of respect. Ilia hasn't really offered you that respect.
Now that you can compare me with his past opponents.
Well, what do you make of it? What do you make of that energy that he's bringing, that lack of respect? What do you make of that?
Shut up, baby. Shut up. You see how he came dressed? You already know what's gonna happen. You just came ready for the retirement. Look how you look as an old man.
Get a good spanking, that's what's gonna happen, hey?
Shut up, you two, okay?
Topuria then sent a final warning to Volk, which in hindsight, the Aussie should have taken very seriously.
You see that belt?
Yeah,
That's
I've
the
seen
last
it for
day
a while
you enjoy
now, and
that
I'll
belt.
keep seeing it.
That's the last days you are enjoying that belt.
Topuria backed up all his talk when he stepped into the octagon at UFC 298, going toe-to-toe with Volk in the first round before landing a devastating right hand in the second that sent the champ crashing into oblivion.
He caught me. That's that. You know, I felt good in there. I felt like I seen everything early. You know what I mean? But he ended up catching me. You know, I was pretty comfortable in the first round, and then we started being like, oh, we'll start to do more. I was just about to do more, and he caught me. So it's just a game.
After taking down a fighter many considered the GOAT, Ilia felt unstoppable. So much so that he didn't even see former champ Max Holloway or any other featherweight for that matter as a worthy challenge.
When you look at the division, who makes sense to you in your mind? Who stands out?
No, nobody. The division really sucks. We need a new challengers, you know. We need a couple of more fights in the division. So we'll see what's going to happen in the future, and hopefully we're going to have some clear challenger. But right now, there is nobody.
Naturally, he started beefing with a couple of guys outside of his division, including someone who hasn't fought since 2021.
And Conor McGregor, if you still have some I will be waiting for you in Spain.
McGregor's first reaction was classic Conor as he joked that he had big balls because he had 4 kids, but none of that was impressive for Topuria any longer. Ilia had always admired Conor, but when they first met at UFC 264, he didn't get the good vibes he was hoping for.
¿Te dio esa sensación como de superioridad?
No super mala energía.
Prepotencia.
Te lo prometo que como un aura de infierno, ¿sabes lo que te digo? Como no quiero estar cerca de este tío, como una energía negra. Nunca en mi vida había sentido eso.
McGregor didn't reply right away, but when he did, he went all in, comparing Topuria to Artem Lobov, his ex-best friend turned enemy.
Don't be silly, lad. Don't be silly. So it just reminded me of Artem Lobov, just a stupid little fool. Talking billions from a banger of a car. Thinks he knows it all, he's only a little baldy fool.
Topuria fired back, saying he might be silly, but at least he wasn't mentally broken like McGregor. After winning the belt, Ilia started beefing with the UFC's biggest superstar, who actually fired the first shot because he knew Ilia was that guy.
Dana, give me a jet to Spain, baby. I'm coming for Ilia Topuria.
I believe I can put Ilia's lights out.
Topuria was quick to remind Sean that he had the machine Merab Dvalishvili to deal with. But, of course, the champ does whatever he wants.
This guy's acting like he's running the show. Like, no, you don't know. Well, you wait. You sit down and wait. Like, UFC's going to decide, buddy. This guy's acting like he gets the call. No, he wants me to fight Merab. Like, I have 4 title defenses. So, he's talking out of his mouth a little bit, too much.
Amid all the chaos, there were a few rare compliments as well, but they were mostly one-sided, with O'Malley calling Ilia way more dangerous than Merab.
Ilia's way more dangerous, way more scary. So I want to do what the people want to do. I think the people want to hate no matter what the athlete wants to do. So I'm like, I want Ilia, and they're like, no, you got to fight Merab. I'm like, bet, let's do it. I'd rather fight Merab 100%.
The two then crossed paths at UFC 300, where they both vowed to make the biggest fight in UFC history once they were done defending their titles.
He told me, like, I'm going to defend my belt, you do your things, and we're going to build the biggest fight in the UFC history. And this is what's going to happen. If he defends the belt, that's going to be the biggest fight, I think, in the UFC history.
But to get to the sugar show, Topuria had to take on the Blessed Express head-on. UFC 300 was an absolute spectacle, but the moment that stole the show was Max Holloway's brutal last-second knockout of Justin Gaethje that had fans explode in shock and excitement. But Topuria's emotions seemed to be all over the place. Topuria's reaction had many thinking he was allegedly having scary thoughts about the Blessed One, but Holloway was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Of course, with a little banter on the side.
By any chance, did you see Ilia's reaction to your knockout?
Yeah, I saw it. People saw it, but I don't know. Like, you know, like everybody's like, oh, he's like whatever. But you can't. I don't know the dude. You know what I mean? You don't know if he's socially awkward or something. So like maybe that's just what he is. You know, no. Fair play to him. You know, I don't know how animated or whatever he is. So I ain't gonna take to it. This guy's a world champion. He's a killer. But like I said all fight week, brother, it's quite. You know, we got questions. There's a lot of questions about the guy, and I wanna figure that out.
For months after UFC 300, both fighters went back and forth, blaming each other for the fight not happening. Topuria claimed Holloway wasn't available due to family issues.
No por mí, no es por mí. Me llamaron de que Max Holloway que estaba teniendo problemas familiares, que luego no podía bajar de peso, luego que quería pelear en la categoría superior. No sé, la verdad. No tengo ni idea.
While Holloway was left wondering where he even got that from. Fans naturally sided with Holloway and roasted Topuria online. In response, he said, "To all those who continue to doubt me, screw all of you. I don't care about any of you. You just project your insecurities onto me. Your envy, born from your inability to pursue your desires, poisons the heart. Keep watching me shine." Even after the fight was booked, the bad blood didn't fade. Ilia confidently declared that Max was easy money.
Every time I see him fight, it's like everyone really is gonna be like surprised when I'm gonna knock him out, because I see him like it's such an easy matchup for me. I don't know, to be honest.
Topuria's bravado only reinforced Holloway's belief that he was just a Conor McGregor copycat.
You know the guy that he's copycatting. This guy's a copycat. You know, down to the tattoos, to his aura, to the way he's approaching fights. The guy's a copycat.
The rivalry hit a whole new level when Topuria's antics during a one-on-one interview pushed Holloway to his breaking point.
Prove me wrong. Why
He
not?
is the best boxer in the UFC. Not head movement, not knockout power, not technique. He's just, listen. And I saw him working with the backs. Bro, what the f is this?
Holloway tried to brush off Topuria's antics, but it was clear he was burning with the urge to take this so-called weirdo's head off.
The guy's a weirdo, bro. It is what it is. So anyway,
I'm
bro.
weird and you normal, right? I'm weirder than you normal, mamma mia. You were forced to fight me.
You.
Yeah, because you
Yeah, I
asked
don't
to
know,
fight
telling
with
you
Michael
this,
Chandler,
you're
you asked to fight with Conor McChicken, you asked to fight with too many fighters because you were trying to avoid me.
Who told you this? Who told you
Yeah.
this? Who told you this, my friend? Who told you this? Exactly. Shut up. You're lying.
Holloway found no relief even at the press conference as Topuria kept the trash talk coming without a hint of regret.
It's gonna be exactly the same. I'm gonna take these lights out in the first round.
The two locked horns at UFC 308, where after two highly competitive rounds of war, Topuria knocked Holloway out cold, becoming the first ever fighter to do so. Despite back-to-back knockouts of Volkanovski and Holloway, Topuria still wasn't satisfied because he knew he had a bigger fish to fry.
It's Islam. He's a great fighter. He's the #1 pound for pound for the people, for me. It's me, myself. I'm the best fighter in the world.
Not only did Topuria talk about moving up to lightweight, but he also warned Islam that he'd beat him at his own game.
I'm always looking to achieve things that no one could. So someone could submit him. I will be the first one to submit him.
Makhachev wasted no time shutting down the hype, saying he was done fighting smaller guys since fans always discredit his wins.
I'm tired to give chance the small guys, you know. I need my second belt, you know. It's nothing excited. He's a good fighter, he's a good skills fighter, but I don't want to give him chance, you know. I need second belt.
That only made Topuria believe Islam was scared of him, because if he's really as small and short as Makhachev claims, then why won't he fight him? Ilia seems to have no plans of slowing down, as he's consistently reminding Makhachev that he would put his lights out if given the chance. For instance, this is what he had to say after Islam's title defense against Renato Moicano at UFC 311. Topuria even took a dig at Islam's teammate Umar Nurmagomedov for losing to Georgia's pride Merab Dvalishvili, saying, "This is what happens when Georgian wrestling meets Dagestani wrestling. If Topuria keeps pushing Makhachev, he might get his shot. But the Dagestani insists he needs to win a fight at lightweight first to prove his worth." Maybe that's why Topuria has vacated his featherweight belt to move up to lightweight and prove that he belongs among the 155-pound elite.
The title is vacated, and we will announce what Topuria's next fight will be when we get it done.
If Ilia Topuria is to fight Islam Makhachev next, that will take their budding rivalry to a whole new level. But it's unlikely that the two would have bad blood. What is also unlikely is one particular boxer clawing his way back to the top after major setbacks. Speaking of which, check out our video on the times Deontay Wilder tasted defeat in boxing.